Dale, wait. I didn't mean for that to happen.
To find out that everyone hates me? I don't care.
Dale, please. Dale, stop.
No! Do you know what everyone says about you? They say you're a homeschooled jungle freak who's a less hot version of me. Yeah, so don't try to act so innocent. You can take that fake apology and shove it right up your hairy...
And that's how DelayedDale died. No, I'm totally kidding. But she is the co-host of this week's episode and every other episode of Easy Mode.
That's correct.
The professionally casual gaming podcast.
That's right. I'm DelayedDale. That's Henry K. He let me get hit by the bus because he was threatened by me.
Yep, but I definitely didn't shove her in front of it. That's for sure. Everyone, thanks for joining us for another week of Easy Mode. We've got a fun episode for you this week. We are mean girls today because we're going to talk about our burn book, our most hated list, our most hated characters in video games list. Some of these are our personal ones. Some of them are general public's, very, very popular. These are the ones that the general gaming community is voting for as most hated and annoying characters.
That's correct. That's correct. There's going to be some controversial opinions. I know at the end of this episode, someone is going to tweet us and say, what the hell, Dale? Or what the hell? Probably mostly
Probably
what the hell,
Dale.
Dale? Probably Dale. But yeah, I'm stoked. You know, like we said, and you'll find out a little bit later, but like people do connect over mutual hatred, mutual disdain. There's if you have a passionate hate for something and somebody else has that same passion, oh my God, y'all are besties now. Y'all are besties.
It's like that saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me. Well, that's what we're doing this week on this week's episode. That is what we're doing. We're going to be hot gossing, some little shit talking about some characters from across the video game spectrum.
From old and new and our personal experiences.
Yeah. So should we just get started with this week's episode?
Let's open the book and put the first person on the page.
All right, Dale, nothing brings people together than hating someone else.
This
and
is true.
in video games, there's a lot of characters that unite the fan bases for the despise of that character. And I'm going to give you one that I actually did play this game. I was a fan of it, and I did get it. This character was annoying. Slippy from the Star Fox series. Did you ever play Star Fox 64?
No, I did not.
I loved it. It's actually a fantastic game. So much fun. It does have like some secrets too. There's some good storyline, very dramatic. But Slippy is part of like this part of your like 4-man team of like space fighters, shooters, and Slippy just always was giving you like unnecessary advice. He'd be like, hey, press B to shoot the bomb and throw it over there. They're like, this enemy's weak to whatever.
Was he inspired by Clippy on Microsoft Word? Because I'm getting the same energy.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? You're pretty right. Except for Clippy from Microsoft Word didn't keep getting himself into trouble. There was often like missions and storylines that had to do with like him getting like soloed like onto a planet alone by getting in the way of like the villain you're like fighting.
Yes.
And you're just like, what an inconvenience. So he's just like nagging you. He has a very like high pitched voice, and he's like giving you like unhelpful advice. You're like, I know this is the point of the game.
You can't like skip it or anything.
No, he's just there. Like they're part of it. They're there and in the way. But he was just like the worst one.
Come on,
and
Slippy.
I know. I mean, and he's so cute. He's like a little frog. I freaking love frogs. But
they did. That's injustice.
I know, they
to
did
frogs.
frogs. But you know, this was like pre-frog love era.
Oh, okay.
He was just there. He was part of like your 4-man squad, and he was annoying. He just give you like just tips you didn't need, and like someone who gets you into trouble and makes things harder for you. Who wants that?
Who wants that?
I say as I look in a mirror.
Listen, I know you've never played a visual novel, and this character that I'm about to tell you kind of is like 50-50. You either love her or you hate her. I was on the side of I'm not a big fan. She is the main person that you play as, so it's a little unfortunate. Like the game's great, but like Max Caulfield, she's the main character of Life is Strange. People either loved her or hated her. She's just annoying. Something about the way she was written. This is my opinion. She had some very annoying lines, a little too dramatic, a little whiny, and I'm just like, literally, that's like what I would say. But overall, great game. Loved it. I mean, I loved it enough that I could play it. Have you ever played a game where you're not able to finish it because you hate the character? Like, has that ever happened to you?
I don't think so. But like, I will say like for visual novels and for games like Life is Strange that like are in that world, sometimes the characters are like I don't understand the character. Like, I get it for the plot purposes, but I don't. I'm like, that's not a real person.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Like, especially like a lot of the side characters are like, oh, like the characters like bully the main character, or like, you know, like that sort of have to like push the plot. I'm like, no one is like that. No one, like, that's not a real thing. Like,
the reason I asked you if you've ever had a character that like prevented you from finishing a game is because I loved Life is Strange. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do Before the Storm. I couldn't finish it because I hated the girl Rachel Amber, who was like the best friend of Chloe. I couldn't. I simply couldn't. Every time she was on the screen, I couldn't do it. So I have the game unfinished, and it is what it is. It's kind of like with TV shows too, you know?
Yes, if you can't get behind the character, you don't want to play.
Well,
you don't want to see it.
Especially for visual novels, because it is basically like you're watching TV, just like a little clicking here and there. So in that case, it's kind of like if you don't like it, you're not going to like it going forward. But in a game where you're doing more like action adventure or something a little bit more high paced, fast paced, you can kind of get away with like, yeah, I don't like that character, but whatever. I don't have to see them all the time.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say that does take me to my next character. And this character is on my personal list of like disliked, but also like really, really well done. And like it's on that like loved and hated sort of spectrum. And that's Glados from Portal.
Okay.
Because
I did love and hate, yeah.
She is such a well-written character. The story is so good with GLaDOS, and like the way it like proceeds through, especially the first game, and then I mean on to the next, are very, very great. But she really knows how to get at you. It's so frustrating. She really pushes like the characters' buttons and my buttons personally. You know, when someone's like, you're just like, shut up. Like, you're like, I know, like, I get it. She was like really there to like nag you the whole way in like the best way possible and like the worst way possible. So like, I hate that bitch, but like a queen. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny that you said guide in the most annoying way possible. And I can see both of our lists here. We both have Navi. Hey, listen. Hey,
listen.
Hey, listen.
Hey.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I feel like the response for Navi was so negative and like overwhelming. It's a meme, right? But I'm just so glad with like the future Zelda games and all the stuff that's recently come out that there haven't been a Navi. But like, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of miss her. And there's like this nostalgia that I feel like, why is nobody like looking out for me? Like, why don't I have a travel companion? Like, I'm all by myself now. I know, like,
I love a travel companion.
I do, but like every now and then I need them to just like tone it down. I need them to just
and I would say like, especially in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, there was like a sense of exploration. So sometimes you were just exploring, and she'd be like, "Hey, listen," like to tell you like what you should be doing. And I was like, I don't care what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm over here like on the mountain trying to figure out like if this is a secret wall or not. Like, you don't need to tell me where to go. I don't need to go to the Water Temple right now.
But
I don't need
the times when I did need her help, and she's like says the most generic thing, I'm like, "Where are you when I need you?"
Yeah, nothing to say then, huh?
Yeah, no, a little exactly. But another character that's on both of our lists is that great owl, Kepora Gebora. Is that how you pronounce it?
Probably Kepora Gebora, yeah.
Yeah, Gebora. Okay, so that owl, if you guys don't know, if you've never played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, shame on you. Third of all, get the game. It's this owl that, you know, guides you with wisdom. Anytime you're in like a new area, you have to talk to the owl first. Okay, he has the story and everything. So the first time you play, it's fine. But every time if you want to do like a new save file and you kind of know what you're going through, you can't like super skip everything that he says. And it's super frustrating. So like he is also on a list for like when we were both doing research on this. One of the characters that people are like, you know what? I can do without that. Like, can I just skip past this? Like,
well, the worst part about it too was like the way the buttons were mapped out.
Yes.
Like if you're just skipping through, the first option, if you're pressing like A to continue through, is to like re-listen. Like he'll repeat it all, and then you have to like press like skip through all of it again.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to like repress it to repeat again. Like, I'm pretty sure I've done it more than they had to have.
They had to.
And I'm pretty sure like I did it more than like I'm pretty sure I've done it like more than 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah,
like,
me too.
And I'm like, frick, like I can't, like I keep repeating this freaking owl. Let me go. Also, I just wanted for the record that Dale and I both separately she wrote that owl bitch, like please, and I wrote that bitch ass owl, and in parentheses, Kepora Gabor.
We both did, and we didn't talk about it before we wrote it. We just both wrote it. We're like, oh shit, yeah, we had the same.
We hold a lot of resentment for that owl.
That owl bitch, like, please. But honestly, still a big part of my childhood. So shout out, but also shout down. Okay, goodbye.
In the same sort of Legend of Zelda franchise, the only Legend of Zelda I didn't play was Skyward Sword.
That's the one I did not finish either. So same.
Yeah. One of the, I mean, more than Navi, I would say, because Navi does have an element of nostalgia and like originalness, like just like uniqueness in its own, like the first Navi companion for Link is Fi from Skyward Sword. Everyone hates Fi.
Really?
Like, it's just sort of like, I think Fi is considered the worst companion of like the Legend of Zelda series of all time.
Dang.
Like, I think she's just like so unhelpful and like interrupts and is so annoying. The sound, no one likes the sound. I only know of Fi because I played Hyrule Warriors, so I'm familiar. That's the only area
that you kind of know,
that I know Fi, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I didn't like her in that because she was my weakest character. Sometimes you had to play with her, and I was like, frick, I can't do this. But that's like unrelated to like why people dislike her. But I think Fi is actually the most disliked Legend of Zelda companion, and was on a lot of like really annoying character lists because I think Fi was very annoying.
Well, with that name, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like the most inviting name.
No.
This one might have a little bit of controversy. For me, I don't know if a lot of other people agree with me. If you agree with me, let me know. One of my least favorite characters ever is Mia Winters from the Resident Evil series.
Yeah, those are the new ones.
Yeah, so I first met her in Resident Evil 7. Whiny, awful, annoying, just like there was all clear. I don't know if this is just like the way she was written, or there were just some like weird loops in the story. Like if they clearly have so much marital issues, why are they still like together? Like why not like separate, you know? And then
you're like, why didn't they go to therapy before the game started?
I know, like there's me like analyzing everything. But spoiler alert for Resident Evil 7. I mean, it's been out for years, so if you don't want to hear this, just like skip forward probably 20 seconds. But you at the very end of the game, you get to choice between saving Mia or saving the other girl, and I always save the other girl, and even though the other girl still died at the end, Mia lives. It's just like, what was the point of that choice, even though I chose to kill Mia, you know? Like I just don't like Mia. Mia's not for me. So
she tried to kill you that whole game.
She did try to kill the whole game. You're just trying to be there. I mean, she did get the black mold, but like, why is that my ish? You couldn't have sent an email?
That's not my problem.
Your lack of communication.
You try to kill me, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, are the reasons why my hand was cut off. Anyways, Mia Winters Dale is not. I mean,
same. I was like, she's trying to kill me. I'm gonna kill her first.
She was also just like, can we talk about that game for just like one quick second? Because you did play it, right?
I watched the whole playthrough. I never played it myself, but like I know everything that happens in that game. Yeah,
she did look good for being held captive in a house. Like her skin, like fine. Great. Her hair not greasy. Like she was fed. So I'm like, okay. Just wanted to say that. Good job, Mia.
We got one compliment for you.
You got one. That's it.
Dale, a character that I was like, I actually had to like really look into for this list that I was so I mean, everyone is shocked. That's always like the reaction that I'm seeing in comments when I was researching for this. And on almost every top 10 list, like close to the top is the dog from the game Duck Hunt.
I saw that on lists, but I've never even heard of this game.
So when I saw Duck Hunt is like an OG Nintendo game.
Okay.
Like from the SNES. There's actually, so little sidebar, a really good horror game like based on like the Duck Hunt game. That's so good. Definitely play it if you like a horror game. It's not too long and it has some nice scares and spooks. That's like it was like it went on a big YouTube like everyone played it at once kind of thing. It was really good. Yeah. So check that out. But it's sort of like it was just like an early one of Nintendo's like one of earlier like motion capture, so like shooting at the screen. But I was like, what is this? Why does everyone hate this dog? I was like, let me look into this more. I was like, they kept calling him like Smug, and I was like, what are they talking about? So basically, like when you shoot the ducks in Duck Hunt, he'll like go and fetch them, and he'll like pick them up and show them to you as like a dog who helps you hunt wood. But when you miss, he pops out of the bushes, and this bitch laughs at you. He's like he, and he like puts his hand over his mouth and freaking laughs at you.
What? It's kind of like taunting stuff. Oh my gosh.
He just like laughs at you for missing shooting the ducks, which is like the whole point of the game. And like your like little companion is like like clowning on you on the screen because you can't shoot a duck in the air.
That would
and
make
I was
me
like,
so
oh,
angry.
I get it. I was like, screw this guy. Screw
Yeah.
this dog. I was like, get out of here. I'll shoot you next.
Yeah, that would make me so irrationally angry. I hate being taunted. Like,
Yeah. And it's something so small and silly like that the game is doing, but I'm like, I see it. I see the frustration.
Yeah,
Especially
no,
like if you're like at
totally.
a challenging level and this bitch is gonna laugh at me. Screw you. Taking you to the pound. Non-kill shelter, of course. What? I would never take an
I
animal
was
to a
just
kill
not
shelter.
expecting. Every time I think I know you, you say something. I'm like, always keeping me on my toes. Here is a character that all the listeners, if you'll know as soon as I say, if you've ever played Animal Crossing, Tom Nook is a crook and one of the most hated characters ever. Like, Henry and I were talking about this before, but we never really got a choice on what we wanted to do. There's no rags to riches story here. It's just, here's a loan. Oh, that loan that I get, you got to pay it back. Oh, you need more. It's all about loan and money and capitalism and like
a cycle of debt.
It really is.
He's trying to keep us down.
It really is. And just, something about his whole demeanor really annoys me. Just not a big fan. Not a big fan.
A lot of people don't like it, just because he was like, he likes having that over you. You don't really have any other option. Why does he get to run the only store in the game?
Yeah, he's the only one. There's no other competitors. He can set these like
he's
fake
like a
prices.
monopoly on general stores.
Oh, totally. Totally.
But I will say Animal Crossing New Horizons, I did find Tom Nook a little bit more likable in that game than in the GameCube Nintendo. In the GameCube Nintendo one, he was smug and he was rude. He had an attitude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is the first one I've ever played. So if he was
in the GameCube one, he was like real smug, had an attitude. He was like more like, oh, you do owe me. And he's much softer in the Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I think having Timmy and Tommy with him like really softens his image up a lot more. He's definitely taking it a little easier in this one, but he definitely had a much bigger attitude on the GameCube one.
Speaking of just like character, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion because Tom Nook was on both of our lists, but this next character, when I tell people I don't like him, they're like, "How could you? He's like so cute."
I just saw it. I am upset.
It's Nico from Happy Home Paradise, the DLC. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Happy Home Paradise. It's a little monkey. He supervises you while you decorate. He's always just there like talking to you and just being like, "Hey, you can't go yet." Oh, I hate this feeling of just, I know it's part of the game, but like, let me just kind of like have free reign. Why does my boss have to be there just like watching me do stuff? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I just design? It's so annoying. And he's everywhere and his eyes are just like so big. He's just staring and
he's very
I'm not
cute,
a big
though.
fan. I'm not a big fan. I said it.
I
Dale
get
does
it.
not like Nico at all. Bye.
So that's not the one I was shocked about. That one's very reasonable to me. The next one on your list, Dale, on Animal Crossing New Horizons is one I'm shocked about because I personally relate to this character very much.
How do you relate to this character?
Because like we're like organized, we're very friendly and warm, we're on top of things. Like
So you share stories that like waste
we would
everyone's
wear
time.
Gucci cardigans. Like
So if you guys want to know, the next character on my list is Isabel from Animal Crossing New Horizons. She talks too much. And then she's always like, wait, nobody asked. I know they're trying to keep it fun and light and interesting, but like at a certain point when you're just trying to like, when you're time skipping or you're working on getting something done on the island, I don't want to hear you. Like, can't you
That's
send
me
out a
at
company-wide email? Like, I just don't want to hear it.
That's me at work. Every time someone new starts, I'm the Isabel of my job.
Not
asking
me.
you all these questions, you telling you all these fun facts you don't even care about. Like you got stuff to do. That's me. I love it. I love her.
Not liking it. I don't hate her. I just find like that whole interaction to be annoying. And also, why can't she ever leave the area? Like, why can't we see her walking about on the field or like her and Tom? They're always just in a building. Like,
because she keeps your private life private.
Except for the morning when she tells you what she did the night before.
Yeah, she's probably making it up. Like me at work. I'm telling you, I'm just talking to talk. I'm here to give you an experience. I'm not giving you the truth.
That's fair.
She's probably like running like a drug cartel out like from the island.
She's got to clean that money somehow.
With that art guy. Quick shout out. I'm only going to shout it out really, really fast because we already did. I don't remember what episode it was. Quick shout out. Very popular on a lot of like most hated character lists, Mr. Rossetti. It's a character from Animal Crossing that no longer exists, but it has been referenced. That punishes you for not saving your game back in the GameCube game. And he would literally talk to you longer than the owl from
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda, yeah. He would talk to you longer than that. And then the more you didn't save, the longer he would talk. Like it was like an ongoing, lengthened experience every time. He was on a lot of these lists, so fuck that guy. Way to get on here. Good for you.
Passion.
What I did see on a lot of lists, Dale, is I have been getting into this game a little bit recently, not as this character, but I have played against this character. I've been playing some League of Legends recently. Where I've been playing as Lux a lot, of course, on brand. Happy Pride Month. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know
Lux
that
is a support character. She's like cute, blonde. I don't know. She's magic.
So she's me. Okay, cool.
Yeah, basically you. But there's this, everyone seems to hate this character on a lot of lists, and it's Teemo. Teemo's another, I don't really know the role of Teemo, but people do not like Teemo because he's like he has like all these little hidden mushrooms. He can like go invisible. He's just very difficult and frustrating to play against. And I think he's been like a character from the very, very beginning of the game that's like always been there and always been like pretty much in the meta a lot and like played a lot. So like there's like years and years of buildup of hate on that. Personally, I haven't built up a lot of disdain, but I can see why a lot of people might, enough to be included on a lot of like most hated character lists.
I did like add Teemo to my list of just like a character that people are like, we hate. But from what I saw, just like off the image, low-key VQ, not gonna lie.
Yeah, cute little guy.
Cute little character.
Frustrating to go against, but yeah, cute little guy. Nonetheless.
This next character is a Dale, probably exclusive. If you feel the same way as I do, please let me know. I feel like I have an opinion nobody else shares on the internet. I do not like Impa in Breath of the Wild. She is so friggin' annoying. And just like, have you played Breath of the Wild, Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
I beat it.
I'm like, oh, look at you. I'm still on the, what is it? The Thunderblight Ganon? That's the one that I have to do.
That's the one in the air?
That's the one on the final Divine Beast. The camel one. The final Ganon there. The Thunder one, yeah.
That one's Thunder.
Besides the point. Impa is the one who, Zelda, and then 100 years, and I've been waiting for you. And every time you talk to her, she's like, don't touch that. Don't touch. It's something about her, the way she's designed. I'm just not a fan. Got to talk to her like, and also she talks kind of slow. Just like, of course you don't remember, a little condescending. Not a fan. Dale does not like Impa, but I did like Impa in Ocarina of Time. Something about her was just like very powerful.
She was so cool in Ocarina of Time.
She was so cool. She was so powerful. And there's been like 6 different versions of Impa over like the Legend of Zelda games, but this one for Breath of the Wild is one I do not like. Just like kindly saying goodbye.
Yeah, I get it. She's just so unhelpful. She like wants us to do it, and I'm like, no, you help me.
Like I go to her after I've beaten 3 Divine Beasts so far. I go to her, she's like, you've beaten 3, but you still haven't beaten the last one, and Calamity Ganon is still on the loose. It's like, we can even say thank you, good job, like you did something. It's
Give me
like
a reward.
You haven't done it all, so I can't even say anything. Like, all right, okay, thanks, Impa.
I get it, but yeah, shout out like Ocarina of Time, Impa. You're an absolute icon.
We love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
Leader of the Sheik. So last one for me, this one's really like LOL, like very funny, like, but also like the frustration I get from this character. I guess it's not really a character because it's from the Pokemon franchise. In that very, very annoying, consistently reoccurring, unnecessary to see Pokemon is Zubat. Like I did see this on a list and I was like, this is an annoying character I can get behind because boy, are there too many of those in that game.
There are quite a lot. I just want to tell everybody that Henry on his list wrote Zubat, LOL.
Oh, I was like, this is job for the list, but also like, oh my God, why are there so many? That's just not like, it makes the game not fun. Nope. I don't need to see that many. I will say though, I love a Golbat, but Zubat by itself,
annoying.
No, I don't need.
I get it.
Especially like the original Pokemon games. Well, I mean, I guess even now because they don't use they don't say their names in the game. But like the sound of a Zubat, like their like
Triggers
Pokemon sound is like upsetting to hear. It's so like high pitched and like.
Oh
bright.
yeah. Yeah. No,
I don't even like. I want to do the sound for you, but like I don't even know how. It's like I can't do it. But I'm not a machine. I don't know what those are very mechanical noises.
Thank you for clarifying that you're a human. Up until now, we had no idea.
I'm definitely not a robot.
From last week's episode, the intro. Hello.
Hello. And welcome to Nintendo.
Henry, the next one on our list is one that I have not played, but is still in the Resident Evil franchise. This was actually like top 5 on all the like worst character like lists that I've seen.
Oh my gosh, people hate this. They hate her.
No, they hate her. They loathe her. There's passionate hate. Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4. Yeah, so I haven't played it, but like reading a little blurb, basically, you know, you're kidnapped and Leon's got to take care of you and everything went downhill when he met you. It's just Ashley's annoying. People just hate on Ashley. So
I think there's a lot of things that really work against Ashley. Mm-hmm. She's very, very bratty. She's like,
she's the president's daughter.
Her behavior, like in a zombie apocalypse, is very inappropriate, I would say. Like, you do not need to act that way when the world is being taken over by zombies. Like, there's just no need to be bratty then. Like, not the time. And also, like, a lot of Ashley's well, first of all, she's like always getting kidnapped. Like, what an inconvenience. And then a lot of the missions revolving Ashley are escort missions, and no one likes an escort mission because the AI freaking stinks all the time. You know, you have to protect something and it's like freaking wandering off to the side and you're like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So like very, very frustrating. So like, I think she has a lot of things working against her. And I think, like, sorry, babe, like you can't be annoying and in trouble. Like, you can't be both. Yeah. Pick a struggle.
You can't have both. No one's going to defend you. I've not played it, but like when I do, I'll let you guys know. I feel like I'm not going to like her based off of like that little snooty attitude you just told me about. Mm-hmm.
She does. She like referred to herself in third person in the cutscene I was watching. I was like, what the hell?
Okay.
I was like,
first of all, I do that. I talk about myself like in the third person all the time.
She like introduced herself.
How?
In third person. I don't know. She was like, whatever, that's her something Ashley Graham. And I was like, what is going on here? Why is she acting like this? And I immediately got it. I was on board on that hating Ashley Graham tree. Also, isn't Ashley Graham the name of like a very famous plus size model?
Yes,
yeah. I love her.
That you shared the same name because I loved model, but this
shout out Ashley Graham the model. You're much better than Ashley Graham from Resident Evil.
She's beautiful. If you ever listen to this podcast, you want to come on, like this is an open invitation, Ashley Graham.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you play like a mobile game. We can talk about that.
You mean, like mobile gaming is huge. It's like the #1 gaming in the world. So like if you play anything, just come on easy mode. But I digress. This next game, I'm not sure you've ever played, and I've never played it, but it's kind of like something that I've been considering starting. Genshin Impact.
So I have played Genshin Impact.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, I played it like near launch. Yeah, it wasn't for me.
Okay.
But it is. All the characters are very, very fun. I mean, I like. It's a cute game.
Is it Paimon or Paimon?
Paimon.
Paimon. People hate Paimon.
I know. Kind of like the Navi of the story.
Kind of like the Navi of the story.
Hi, I'm Paimon. That's sort of what she sounds like.
I just know that TikTok audio that was like, Tenantayo. You know that one?
Yeah. I don't hate Paimon, but I get it. She's just like small and annoying. And like, spoiler, maybe, like if you don't want to hear this, don't. They'll cover your ears.
Skip 10 seconds. Skip. I'm listening.
I think Paimon, like, I think she's like ends up being the villain or something, maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I saw TikTok. Is there like a theory?
Always the ones closest to you.
I think she's bad, and I get it. She's a little annoying.
So are you saying that like you're gonna become the villain in my life because we're pretty close?
And I'm little and annoying.
But I'm shorter than you, so I'm the villain here.
Oh my gosh, it would be you.
It would be me.
I'm the Isabel. You're the Tom Nook. Because you love numbers and accounting.
You always say that, but I'm like crying.
You're still doing it. Tom Nook is happy.
I do. I mean, I really don't have a choice. Gotta pay those bills somehow.
Okay, well, I'll wrap us up with this. Okay, so I was reading forums. I was reading everything to find out. Like, I really built a list that I really liked for this. Mm-hmm. But it was this list of everyone was just voicing their opinions on some characters. Like, everyone's just going through like on this forum and really giving why. And yeah, I mean, as I said at the beginning of this, nothing brings people together more than hating someone and like getting to vent your frustrations, like shit talking someone or character or whatever. It feels so good and people love it. Like it's not always great, but very, very fun. But this one person on this forum was like the list, like, what video game characters do you hate? And this is exactly what they wrote. The Jarl's son. Is it the Jarls?
I think it's Jarl.
I can't believe I hit that J so hard. Like, I don't know who I am.
You did. You're like Jarls.
Jarls.
Okay. All right.
The Jarl's son in Skyrim. And then they give you the voice line. Another wanderer here to lick my father's boots. The person wrote, boy, I will end your entire bloodline and your forefathers in Sovereign Guard, you pathetic little shit. And I'm like, I get it. Those kids in Skyrim are so annoying. They should have been their own thing in this list.
No,
they're always so rude.
Though, they're so horrific.
Yeah. If I was like in there, like like all powerful, I'd be like, a little backhand straight into them.
Henry with that
I'm
child
glad
abuse, damn.
I'm glad you can't. They're so rude.
They're horrific. They're actually
talk shit,
horrific.
get hit.
Yeah.
Dale.
Yes.
Don't you hate when someone answers their own questions? Because I do. And Dale's hate towards me is growing more and more and more. And soon I'll be on Dale's most annoying list.
No, I want to make the record clear. Every now and then, well, first of all, Henry's a Virgo, so we're different. I don't have any hatred towards Henry, but every now and then he just knows how to push my button in a way that just makes me feel a little bit of pain. So thank you for that.
I do. I can always get you with a really good bad joke. Always gets
It's
you.
always a bad joke.
It's always a bad joke.
I can't because you don't even have kids, but you come up with like the cringiest jokes or the cringiest little lines or like the zingers. I'm like,
life's too short not to try your material on everyone. You got to keep it fresh. You got to keep it going. Every moment is a moment to make a joke. And speaking of jokes, all those characters on today's list were an absolute joke, and we freaking hate them. No, just kidding. If you have some annoying characters that you don't like, I actually would love to hear it. Like, let us know what characters you don't like that you find annoying or hate them or whatever it is, whatever context you want. It's up to you. But also tell us why, because I love knowing why, especially when it's like super like personal and like,
if it's petty,
specific to you.
If it's petty, please do spill the salt. You know, spill the tea and the
let
salt.
us know.
But again, you can contact us anywhere on Easy Mode Show. Tweet us. We're active on the Twitter. And if you also are anti-Isabel or anti-Impa, let Dale know. Let Dale know.
No, I don't think there's going to be any responses to those. Maybe the Isabel one, not the Impa one.
Really? Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out this week. We'll be back next week with another episode. What a fun one today. I loved it.
Until then, Henry, keep it easy.
Mode. Yay, I never going to say it.
You never did. Bye, guys. Thank you.